Hiya guys, Nigel here with you again, Nigel's Modelling Bench, and as you can see we've got a bit of a different angle because we're going to be doing a unboxing of a new product that I've bought from a company called Bartsharp. Now if I move back here you can see this is my old, well this is not my old, this is my existing extraction unit that I use. It's about 10 years old, it's done me well, it's one of these fold up ones, and it's getting old, it's getting less effective. The fan blades get a sort of coating of lacquer on them and stuff and become very rough, almost like a sort of like a powder coat on them, like a dust coat, and I think that reduces the efficiency. It's also the fact that it's too small. It has no lighting. I've actually added some lighting to it. As you can see there, it's got a little strip of LEDs on it. So yeah, it's great, but I thought it's time for an upgrade, especially with these bigger models and that. You know, got the 1/32 scale, the 1/48 scale Lancasters, and hopefully the new border models will find its way to me. So it's going to be handy to have a bigger booth. So I looked online, found this company called Bartsharp Airbrush, and got in touch with them, and they've sent me this one. And this is the SB04, and as you can see by the size of the box, it's pretty big. It's a much bigger spray booth. It's twin fan, so it has much better suction. It's got the little slim nozzle that goes out the window. I don't want to start cutting into the walls and stuff and putting holes out. And basically it's got the LEDs in there as well. So this is how it comes. I haven't opened it up. You can see it's still got the banding on here. So I'm going to get it unboxed. So what I'll do is I'll remove the cardboard and see what we've got inside. There's no point in me taking it out of the box on camera because you won't be able to see anything unless I put the camera on the other side of the house. So I'll see you in a minute. Okay, so a bit of a change of angle here. My advice to you guys, if you do get yourself one of these, is the top of the box will have your address label on it. Open the bottom of the box and lift the box off, because it is beautifully packaged inside, as you can see. My initial disappointment, and this is nothing to do with Bartsharp, this is obviously to do with their suppliers, this polystyrene. I don't see why manufacturers still need to use this bloody material. There's so much issues in this world with plastic contamination and everything. You know, we need to start moving over to this egg carton material. But anyway, enough of that. So what have we got in here? It is beautifully packaged to get all around the world without being damaged. And as you can see, we've got some foam around this LED. Now, people often ask, if you're doing weathering, the right foam to use, and this is the sort of stuff you want. This is really good stuff. So that's the good stuff for doing your paint chipping and that. So we've got a little turntable in here, which is pretty standard. You know, you get these with pretty much all of the spray booths these days. We've got a manual, a box of goodies. I like boxes of goodies; they're always fun to open. A bit of this bloody polystyrene. Here's the extraction exhaust that goes out the window. So you just open the window a little bit and slot that out. So that's brilliant. I've never had one of those. This LED strip is just going to come out. Yeah, that's going to come out, and obviously it's going to be plugged in. Yeah, it's got plug-ins on the end there. So we've got cables to connect that. So then we're going to take the end covers off. There's no assembly required by the look of things. Sorry about the squeaking. If it's going right through, it's going through me as well. So we get this polystyrene off the ends. Okay, so we get rid of that and we'll rake it up and put it in the dustbin. I always break it up into tiny little pieces. So there we go. So take it out of its bag. Just like so. Sorry about the lighting today, guys. It's a horrible, wet, grey day. Luckily here in Gloucester it's not windy. I think some of the country's being battered, I think. There's the plastic bag off. Right, so that's that out of the way. Right, so what have we got here? It's basically the same as one of your kind of, let's move this camera down a bit. It's basically the same as one of these like I've already got, where it folds out. So what we've got here is the extraction goes upwards, which is good, so you can have it against a wall, whereas with all the others the extraction comes out the back. So that's a really good feature. We've got some knobs on here that you can't see, but we've got some knobs here. Obviously one's for lighting and one's for the fan speed, or it's two for both fans. I don't know, we'll see. But basically we've got airspeed is 9 meters per second. We've got a 12 volt LEDs, 12 watts, luminous flux LED 2340 lux, whatever that means, 53 decibels, and we've got the extended dimensions, which is 55 centimetres wide, 47.8 centimetres deep, I believe, and 35.8 centimetres high. So let's have a look. This opens out. Let's move the camera back. Okay, so this is going to come down, I'm assuming. Oh, we've got lots of stuff in here. So we've got some more, loads more LED bits and pieces. We've got our extraction tube. And then we've got our connectors and a rubber boot to go with it as well. So this is going to open out like that. These sides are going to go up. So again, if you're one of these that models in your kitchen or whatever, or you're doing work in your bedroom, you shouldn't really be spraying in your bedroom and then going to bed at night because you're breathing it all in. But basically you can fold it all up and put it all away. So you can see there it's much bigger than that one. To give you an idea how big it is, what I'll do is I'll get a model and put it in there so you can see just how big it is. So here you can see in the background, this is my GR Yaris radio control car body that I made on this channel. And you can see that's in that booth, and it just about fits in there. So if you wanted to paint that in there, obviously you wouldn't paint an RC body indoors, but basically that is going to be a tight fit and you're not going to be able to do it really because you've got nowhere to grab it and you're just going to be touching the paint and everything. Whereas in this one, you see you've got loads of room. You can paint that in there, no problem at all. But I would never paint an RC car indoors, it's just too much. But you can see there that when that goes in there, that is quite big. And if we grab the turntable, I think we should be able to show that we've got enough room in there to basically spin it around. So you can see that's a lot better than little old ones. But the main reason I bought it, not only the size, but the main reason was because of the better extraction, because I've noticed as time goes on, we get all these new paints coming out that we all love to use, and they're getting smellier and smellier. It's like the new Tamiya LP colours, which you can see I've got up here. They're very, very smelly. They're not very nice at all. And then if you're using Mr. Colour leveling thinners and stuff, we need to be looking at better extraction. So that's the reason I got it. Right. So just to go over it again, what we've got our white box here, and this has got our 3-pin plug and transformer. Okay, so that's handy because we need power, and this is a 12 volt 5 amp power source, transformer charger, whatever you want to call it. Then we've got our big Jubilee clip and the rubber bellows. We've got the extending hose there. We've got the little bit that goes out the window. We've got our long LED strip there. And then we've got our shorter LED strips here, and it looks like these all interlocking together with these jack plugs, which looks very clever. So we've got a male on there. You see we've got a male on there, and then we've got female on here. So they're all going to jack in together. So that's all going to work quite well. And I read a review that somebody wrote on the channel, and they said that the motor and the LEDs are variable, so you can dim or raise the light, and this is going to be great for doing big stuff like Lancaster rings and everything. So I've got the instructions here, so I'm going to have a look through these and then we'll go through the assembly. We've also got in there we've got a contents, so we can check we've got all the contents in there. So let's just have a good look through there, get it put together, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so going through the instructions here, it's telling us to lift up and fold front cover board to deploy spray booth. Okay, so I've already done that. Pull out bottom and place flat. Next, lift up left and right sides into vertical position and clip into cover board. And this is the cover board here, I believe. And then it's telling us to fit the LED light and pull down the panel to connect with the left and right side. So the long LED light here is here. So I'm assuming that this is going to go on like that, yeah? So it looks, yeah, and then that's going to go in like that. So basically, it goes all the way back in. So that's going to go down on there, and that's going to go down on there, he says. There we go. That's gone down there, that's gone down there, and there's tabs on the back which hold that down. There we go. So that's all good. Might be an idea to put some tape or something on there to hold that in. No, it's solid. Once it goes down in, it's solid. I mean, you're not going to be picking it up and moving it around, unless you are moving it around because you don't have much room, but usually these things are put up and stay up. Plug in left and right grey power channels into board sockets and make sure it is a snug fit. So these are the board sockets down here, I think, that's what they're talking about. You can see that one there. So that's that one, I guess. Yep, so that's going to go back into there, I'm guessing. So these are just power channels. This is just what wires run through. There's no lights or anything in them. So they just slot in there like that. Okay, that's good. That's all nice. Install the left and right LED strips to the power channel and the top LED strip. So we've got this one here. Yeah, that's obviously going to go in there. So these LED strips are actually, okay, and they clip onto the sides as well. So it's all going to make everything quite rigid. So that's going to pop into there. Need to do this even, because if you put the bottom in first, it jacks the top up. Obviously, so there we go. So that's going to go like that, and that's going to push into the sides there. So put the top in first, guys. So we'll put the top in first, and then feed that down into there, and that will go into there. There we go. And as you can see now, that's all assembled and all ready to go. So the system has two fans that work at the same time for superior airflow, perfectly placed exhaust vent to easily adjust air hose direction. Extraction comes out of the top of the booth, therefore maximising the space you have. That's what we're saying here. Ready fitted LED stripes to help illuminate your work. And they've got some safety instructions and hazard warnings. Now it says nothing about connecting it up or anything. So I have got the power supply here plugged in. You can see it's got a green light on it. And so we're going to plug that in into there. Okay. So that's plugged in. There is nothing in here that tells you how to actually operate it. I guess you don't need instructions on how to operate a fan, do you? So we've got this one here. So what we're going to do is we're going to test the LEDs and see how good they are. And what I'm going to do is grab something to put in there that we can be see being lit up. See being lit up. So let me go and get something. In fact, no, I don't need to go for long. I can grab this. This is my little dusty Kuba wagon. So you can see we'll put that in there. We'll put it on the turntable. Okay, so that can just sit there like that. Alright, now we can move the camera a bit closer, I think. There we go. And then, so basically now we'll see what's actually going on here, how noisy it is. So that's the LEDs, that's the lowest setting. Okay, and you can see how that's lit that model up, and then we can go, oh no, that's the highest setting. So there we go, that's the lowest setting. And then there's the highest setting, and you can see how much it's lighting up my hand. It's really, really, really good. Absolutely awesome. And now I can see just how dusty that little Kuba wagon is. So we'll leave the lights on maximum, and then we'll put the fan on. So that's on maximum such blimey. Then we can bring it down to basically nothing. I don't know why you would have it on the lowest setting. But I guess if you're doing something like, you know, Viejo that isn't that bad, it isn't that smelly, I guess you'd have on a low setting. And that, what I'm doing is I'm measuring the draft, and what I'll do the same on the other one. That setting there is, that's about a quarter, okay? That's on about a quarter, and on the draft test, that's about the same as my other ones pushing out. So if I put it right up, and if I put these instructions in, you can see, if I put that there, you can see how much that's blowing. I hold that like here, you can see it just sits flat. As soon as I go over the fan, you can see that it's got a lot of force. Right, so the air hose has got to be connected up. It comes like this, it's obviously all closed up, so you need to pull it apart. So we're going to, oh blimey, pull the ends out. It needs to be opened out like so. So it'll screw in. Jess wants to have a look. Here's Jess. Hello Jess, what are you doing? You want to have a look at this tube? You're going to show everybody your bolt patch on your leg. Hey, she's now watching this. Where's it, Jess? Where's it, Jess? Right, so there we go. So that's coming up like that. Alright, and then that's going to screw onto there. This is the rubber connector. Or is it left-handed thread? Yeah, it's left-handed thread. So that's going to screw onto there. Make sure you get it on all the way, otherwise you'll get leakage. You want to make sure you've got a good seal between the pipe and the tube. Oops, Jubilee clip falls off. So we'll get that on there like that, and then we can slide that onto the back of the extractor. Grab a screwdriver, tighten up the Jubilee clip, which you can't see me doing, but never mind, you know how to tighten a Jubilee clip. So tools required for somebody of this job is a Phillips screwdriver. Don't need to over tighten that, we'll start cracking plastic and stuff, so as long as that's on there firmly it's not going to fall off. And then this here, we need to now extend this end out, which again is going to wind Jess up. Get this extended out. It's the hardest part of the assembly, this. Okay. And then that, again, left-handed thread, that's just going to screw onto there. So, Jess likes this. Shush. Okay, and then that's going to go out like that. And then when we run it, we should be able to... That's quite a vent coming out of there. That's a lot of air being moved out of there. So there we go. So what I'll do now is I'll get this in position, get it through the open window, and then we'll do like a test to see how good it works. Okay, so there you go. You can see we've got it set up, and even though it's much wider, it doesn't seem to take up any more space. I know that sounds stupid, but this on the right, this is Jess's blanket that she lays on. She likes to sit and look out the window, and that's on the edge of the table. I haven't unfolded it and refolded it, but I don't seem to have lost any room here on this side. So yeah, great, really, really handy. And it's bloody huge, it's brilliant, and it's no deeper than the old one either, so I've got no problems at all with depth or anything, and everything's just the same. You can see I've got the pipe there at the windowsill. This tube is very, very stiff. As you all know, or you may not know, it's best to keep the bends as big as you can. If you have really tight bends, it will affect the flow, so it's better to have loose bends. So you can see I've got a fairly loose bend here going round and then straight out the window. And then when it's time to put it away, I can just drag this in. I can just open the window a bit and just swing that round and then close the window. As it is now, it's out there like that. I can pull the window close if it's a cold, windy day, whatever. You know, you can see that's only about, what's that, it's an inch. So it's only open about an inch, so my dirty windowsill's disgusting. So anyway, so we can put the blinds down now. And don't get nosy neighbours. And then give this thing a test. Okay, it's difficult to film this. I don't know how I'm going to manage when I want to do film painting. I've got the camera actually sat on the box, turned up on its end, and Jess is inside the box, so at any point the camera may fall over. I wouldn't normally have Jess in here when I'm painting, but we're going to see just how good this is. So I've got the manual. This is the receipt. That's the company if you want to get in touch with them. That's all their details there. So there you go. So by the way, I ordered this on Thursday and it came Friday, next day, DHL. So really brilliant. Thank you, Alison. So basically, I've got some Mr. Colour leveling thinners in the airbrush. As you know, that's quite smelly. This is my Iwata Revolution BR. You can see it's got a very small cup. This is the airbrush I use all the time for everything. So I need to get myself a new airbrush. So I've actually ordered a new airbrush kit from Bartsharp as well, and I'll be doing a full review of that. It looks like a really good deal. Alison assures me it's not going to be as good quality as an Iwata because it's like 50 quid or £58 or something, I think, and it's got 0.2, 0.3 and a 0.5 needle and nozzle set with it, and all the different size cups as well. It's like 3 or 4 airbrushes in one. It's absolutely brilliant. So we'll be doing a full review of that as well. But basically, this is my Iwata BR, 10 years old. If you can afford an Iwata, I would recommend getting one. They are amazing, but just bear in mind the spares are very expensive. I was led to believe that just the nozzle for one of these is 55 quid, I think. So yeah, you've got to be really careful with them. But if you use them properly, clean them out properly, as I say, 10 years old, never had to buy a single spare for it. I've put everything through it: cellulose, Mr. Colour leveling thinners, you know, acetone, everything has gone through this. But the biggest problem with having one airbrush is, as you all know, you spray metallics. It's nearly impossible to clean them out properly, and then you go between Viejo and Mr. Colour or something, and you get all the contamination issues. It would be good really to have a full set of airbrushes, to use just one for every type of paint, but that would just be silly. So what I do need to do is get myself an airbrush holder, because this doesn't have one now. If there are two downsides to this booth, one is it doesn't have a holder. Okay, I wish it had a holder up here. I've got this old one that I had that was screwed to the side of my other one, but obviously I can't screw it on here because we've got the LEDs there, so I might have to think about putting it on the top and twisting it or something. But I want something to put the airbrush up here, so in the meantime what I have to do is use my old dirty paint. This is a paintbrush, an airbrush cleaning dispenser thing. So it's basically a glass bowl with a hole in the top. So I've got some Mr. Colour leveling thinners in there. So what I'm going to do is a smell test. And I'm sat now about a foot back from the booth, a bit further back than I would normally be, but I don't want to sit in the way of the camera. So I'm going to do this now, and we'll see how much it smells. So I'll put the fan on. Okay, I'm going to go to that's maximum. So this is about 50%. Okay, and as I said, even that is probably a little bit better than my old airbrush, what the old booth was. So I've got nothing model-wise to paint. It's got this old martini glass. So I'm just going to spray this. I just want to see how well it's working. As I say, I'm sat a foot back and I can smell it. I can smell it, so it is becoming airborne at about 50%. Okay? It's about 75%. I can just smell it in the air, just. Let's go to full boot. Can't smell it at all. I can just smell it very slightly, which is gone. It's very, very slightly. We should be able to see if we spray here. I don't know if you can see that. As I'm spraying that, it's being pulled into the filter. Very much doubt if you can see that. And I can see it's actually coming out, it's bending around. If I hold my hand here in front of the airbrush, it's not getting wet. So yeah, very impressive indeed. As I say, it's a little bit noisy, but if you're going to start moving air, you're going to have to make some noise. So I think what I have to do is, with any airbrushing filming I do, I'll have to do it sort of and then edit some talking in afterwards. But there we go. That is the Bartsharp SB04, I think it is. It's the Bartsharp SB04 spray booth, and it's £185.99, which is, it's more money than the other ones, but it's worth more than double, I would say. I mean, with these LEDs around and everything, it's absolutely awesome. It is amazing. And I got the LEDs on the dimmest setting. I put them up on the brightest setting there. That's you know, really, really good. And I think it's absolute value for money. It's not a bargain, of course it's not a bargain, but I think it's very good value for money, and I'll be leaving a very positive review on their website. But get in touch with Alison over at Bartsharp and tell her you saw the video on here, and she might offer you a little bit of discount. So drop her an email before you place an order. Maybe we'll have a discount code, I don't know. She didn't mention anything about it, but maybe we'll have a discount code going forward. We shall see. So keep your eyes open for the next Bartsharp review, which will be the airbrush I'm going to try out, and really looking forward to that one. So that should be Monday, Tuesday. I think today is Saturday, Saturday the 2nd of October. So not September. Not like in my last video I did. Right, so I'll see you all soon. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.